Oftentimes we're given lines of code to write a simple Hello World C++ program without ever really stopping to consider what those lines of code are. So let's kind of do that now. Let's just take a look at the very top. Obviously, when you see the slant bar, we're making a comment, and those are appearing in green. And we know that the computer won't read that. That is for human eyes to kind of understand what's taking place. Now, as we step down through here, you'll see in line 4 through line 11, we have include statements. And the first one is a .h, which indicates that this is a header file. And then it goes on to clarify it as a stdaxf.h. All that means is that it's used in Microsoft Visual Studio, which happens to be the compiler that I'm using to let the IDE know that the files, once they're compiled, they don't have to recompile them from scratch. That's just an example of things that you would include. It certainly varies from IDE to also what it is you're trying to do. You'll notice there are other include lines. Now we can speculate as to what they mean just by the naming convention. The IO stream, input output perhaps, string, perhaps using string variables or vectors or algorithms or C math. So it looks to me like strings, vectors, algorithms, and maths are going to be utilizing this, and while we might not be using it today, it was added there for your understanding of all the different things that we could possibly include. And then the next line is a namespace for the STD, which is simply the standard namespace. Cout, Cin, a lot of things are going to be defined in it. So just know that it's part of it. Every C++ program will have a main function. The main function has an int, int, and the int is the type that's being returned, the return type. As you look down here, notice it's a 0. It's returning a 0. The main method is set up so that it is returning integer types. Also, notice these open and close parentheses. That's your parameter list. If we were passing arguments through this method, we would do that there. But since it's blank, we're not. The next line is an open curly brace. An open curly bracket is the beginning of a function, in this case the main function. And then we have our cout line for our Hello World program. Cout, pronounced cout, that stands for character output stream. The Hello Bjarne is just to honor the father of C++, which is Bjarne Stroustrup. And the next line is that C++ is fun. Well, hopefully it is fun. Now the system pause line that you see really isn't a C++ tool as much as it is a Windows system, and all that does is let your console not quickly disappear when you run your program, because there's no prompt to ask it anything to hold it there. So I just threw in a system pause. You'll see in a second here. And then we're not returning anything, and we're closing with our curly bracket. So let's step up here and run this program, see what happens. And there you have it. Hello Bjarne, C++ is fun. Press any key to continue, which is that system pause statement I was telling you about. All right, well there you have it. That's your first Hello World program with hopefully a little more information about what all those lines of code do in creating a Hello World program. And we did it in under 5 minutes. Thank you.